Hey guys, it's Heather. I'm here. I'm creating my first vlog, official vlog. Yes. What are we gonna call this vlog? We're gonna call it the Heather's No Nonsense Mom Vlog. I'm gonna tell you how it is. No sugarcoating. No tiptoeing through the tulips or on eggshells. I'm gonna just say it like it is. Anyway, my daughter is 14 and a half months old. I've been wanting to do something like this for a long time because I have a lot of opinions to share with you. When you're a mom, you tend to go a little nutsoids inside with all of your thoughts and such, and it's nice to have a little outlet, I think. Hence all the new mom vlogs I have found on YouTube. But hopefully mine will have a little bit of a special flair that'll keep you watching. I guess the first thing to start with is having the child. Not all women I know give birth through the vag. I pushed mine through my vag, and if it weren't for the epidural, it would have hurt like a mother. I was due August 16th, and I wanted to be on time. They're gonna tell you, like, your doctor is gonna be like, so do you want to be induced? They generally want you to naturally just give birth when your body wants to. And when you get to a certain point, so many weeks, I can't remember what it is, then they start to offer these different ways of inducing labor. The most natural way is to do this whole membrane thing. Rupture, folks! It's called rupturing your membranes. Does that sound frightening or what? Basically, stick their fingers up your cooch and they wiggle it around in there. I know it sounds dirty, but it's really not. They break your membranes or something. And it is supposed to induce the labor. I decided I didn't want to do that. So here is a tip. There's lots of different ways to induce your labor naturally. One of them is like castor oil or some shit. So I'm gonna tell you what I did. And ladies, it's kind of nice. We got it on. Oh. Yes, having sexual intercourse, my friends, will induce the labor. Something about the proteins in the semen or something. It like helps thin out the membranes. I don't even know. Let me tell you, worked like a charm. Completely worked like a charm. Like within an hour after the explosion, boom, I started to feel cramps. Okay, so women, question, right? I had this question. What are the labor pains gonna feel like? You take these childbirth classes and they're like, oh, it just feels like pressure, a little bit of pressure down there. Like the walls just kind of like, closing in. I'm gonna tell you like it is, it hurts like a fucking biatch. The worst menstrual cramp you've ever had, and multiply it times 50. And what's even cooler is that they get bigger and stronger. So anyway, here are the women out there. I'm just trying to say it like it is, because that's what it feels like. There are women who can do it, and they get through it with no medication whatsoever, no epidural, and there's some sort of technique to it. It's called the 1-5-1 rule. So when your contractions are lasting 1 minute, and they are 5 minutes apart, and it's been like that for 1 hour, 1-5-1, that is when you call. That is when you go in and you say, get this shit out of my vag. Even if you got this 1-5-1 pattern, this is the thing, this is the tricky part, is they will not admit you. Remember this, ladies. They will not admit you if your dilation has not changed. And that's exactly what happened. And I was not very happy about that. I stuck this needle in me about that big into my booty, and it was morphine. That helped a little bit. I was able to go home, and I'm having the contractions through the night in my sleep. So we call my OB. So she says to me, come into my office, I will check you. If your cervix is any larger than 3 centimeters, I will admit you. You will not have to go home. And of course, that's exactly what happened. We get checked in at about noon. The epidural is painful, but in my opinion, I didn't mind that pain as much as I did the labor pains. It's a needle about that long, yo, for real. And they stick it into your spine. Into your spine, into this like particular area of your spine, so that when it goes in, the whatever it is, the chemical, it like radiates through your body. It numbs you from the waist down. So after the epidural, it was great. I watched 3 movies. I packed all my Disney movies. I watched Tangled, Sound of Music, and Lion King. I mean, I was like on my phone. Can you move over? I can't see the TV. I just had a contraction. Awesome. As you're having the contractions with the epidural, you don't feel pain, but you feel the pressure. I don't mean to make this video like pro epidural. I'm just saying, for those of you who are thinking about doing it, I think it's fantastic and has a lot of benefits. One benefit being you can rest. You need to have a lot of energy for when you finally push. So you're not allowed to push until you're at a certain, I think at 10 centimeters, 9 or 10 centimeters. And you're also not allowed to push until your contractions are like really regular. From the time I had the epidural to the time I actually started pushing was like 7 hours. I wasn't allowed to push because the first time, because my contractions weren't regular enough. And then the second time, I was ready to push, but they were waiting for some pediatric nurse to come into the room because I guess my baby took a dump inside me. So if that happens, you have to have a pediatric nurse on site right there for when the baby comes out so that they can clean the baby out and make sure she's okay. So by the time my body was ready to start pushing, the freaking pediatric nurse was out somewhere dealing with some set of twins, some frivolous stuff. Finally, she was able to come back in the room. I was able to start pushing at around 1 o'clock in the morning. I pushed for 20 minutes, which apparently is supposed to be really good. And she came out at like 1:27 in the morning. And it was beautiful. And she was like, that's how my baby sounded. It's beautiful. It's like the voice of an angel. She came out, she was great. I don't think she had any poop in her mouth. She came out with her eyes big like this. Most newborns, they don't open their eyes for like the first, I don't know, like 2 days or 24 hours. This girl, she came out like this. I don't like the colors in here. Where's my mama? I need me some milk. So if you want to breastfeed, they suggest that you have the baby latch on like immediately. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do that. We didn't get to go like vag straight to the boob. We had to go like vag to like some special table so they could clean her up, and then to my boob. And it was great. She latched on. She started feeding instantly. It was pretty amazing how instinctual it is. Overall, I would say, really, I had a very, very smooth labor. I won't say easy, it was smooth. 13 hours, technically, if you go from the time I checked in officially at noon to when she came out. But the placenta is amazing, and if you want, you can have a tour of it. The doctor literally said, would you like a tour of your placenta? I'm literally eating my first meal while looking at my placenta. It's a big, huge, it looks like, I don't know, stomach that came out of a cow. But it's amazing because it's this thing that your body forms and you don't even need to think about it. That's what I'm saying. Women are badass. Women can do this. Men can't. Okay? It's amazing. It was like this thing that gave my child life. So that is my story. And I'll tell you right now, dude, you feel pretty badass. And you go through some stuff, but let me tell you, if you go through this, my child, you will be like a badass bitch. That is my birth story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you didn't get scared. Just to let you know, all of this stuff is like a blur after it happens, and you just, it's amazing because it's so worth it for the little child that comes into your life. Up that. Oh, you could. Got a text. I have to keep my phone at accessible at all times whenever my daughter's away because I need to make sure. Oh my god, that is adorable. Everybody, take a look at this. Oh my goodness. She is so cute.